Hey goal setters, it's almost the beginning of the month, which means that this is a great time to do a check-in with what goals worked for you over the last month and what didn't work over the last month. And I'm gonna give you a peek at my goals board and talk a little bit about the goals that I set last month, as well as the goals that I'm looking at in next month, in June. But first, I wanna show you some puppies. These two cute little dumplings are 2 of the 8 puppies that we have living at our house right now during quarantine. We are fostering a litter of puppies and the mama while she nurses them. Back to the goals board.
So to start off, here is my goals board. And this is where I post short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. So I'm not going to do a check-in on each of my goals. I feel like that would be kind of boring if I do a check-in on my national parks goal, which extends until 2040. But I'm gonna check in on some of the more midterm, year-long goals, and then of course the short-term 1-month goals, as well as look ahead to June. So I'm filming this during COVID. So COVID has definitely impacted some of our goals. The first of which is right here. We set a goal to, in 2020, do 20 gatherings at our house, inviting people from our church just organically for relationship building. And we made it to 3 and then COVID happened. And so I don't know if we're gonna make it to all 20, but I'm leaving the goal up there for now, just to maybe keep working on it once things open up a little bit more. Moving on over to my giveaway goal. This is a classic. I like to share about this one because it is so incredibly meaningful in my life. I set a goal to give away 300 items this year, and I am at 98 items right now. So pretty much on track. I might be a little bit behind schedule. Here's a goal that I set for the month of May. So 30 days of squatting for 10 minutes each day in the month of May. And you can see, Dusty and I both shared this goal, and so I'm the colored in and he's the X's. And so I hit about, I'd say I hit about 2/3 of them. Today's actually Saturday, so I could still hit this one and this one. And so 10 minutes a day of squatting. So that's 10 minutes spent at the bottom of a full depth squat. And the idea there was to build some hip flexibility, some ankle flexibility, and some upper back mobility in that deep squat. There's all sorts of great health benefits to squatting. And so that was the goal. Moving over down here, this is another of my May only goals. So I set a goal to do 15 minutes of self-authoring every day in May. And I'm not gonna go into too much detail about what self-authoring is. Maybe I'll do another post about that. But self-authoring it's a writing practice. And so I set a goal to do 15 minutes every day in May. And you can see that I hit about 50%. And upon thinking about it, I think I should have, rather than set a goal of 15 minutes per day, I should have set a goal to accumulate a certain amount of hours. And I think that would have been more motivating for me, because I noticed whenever I would sit down to do my self-authoring, I always wrote for more than 15 minutes, but I was only giving myself credit for 15 minutes. So I wound up missing some days, but getting way more than 15 minutes on other days. So I'm actually resetting that goal for June, but with an accumulation goal instead of a daily goal, because I don't really care if I do it every day. It's not a habit that I'm trying to set. It's actually just something I'm trying to accomplish. Okay, moving over here to, I set a goal to do 100 workouts at CrossFit Malibu in 2020. And then COVID happened, but I'm still counting the daily Zoom workouts as workouts with CrossFit Malibu. So I am up to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I'm up to 70 of 110. So I am way ahead of schedule. So that's looking really good. And then, this is a fun one just to check in on. I'm not doing very well on it, but 50 plant-based or vegan days in 2020. And I only am up to 5. And so I need to get my butt in gear for that if I want to make it happen. Let's take a look at the goals I'm setting for June. These are the goals that I'm going to put up on the goals board for the month of June. So let's take a look at each of them. I'm pretty excited about them. So we've got Cecily does 20 ocean dunks in June 2020. So the weather's getting warmer. People are going to the ocean because the beaches are open. And so I totally want to be a part of that. And so I'm setting a goal to jump in the ocean 20 times in June 2020. So that's 20 beach visits. Over here on the right, I alluded to this with the self-authoring last month or this month in May. I didn't quite make my self-authoring goal, but like I always tell you about goals that I fall short on, it just means that I learned some things. I either wasn't being realistic with my resources or I wasn't being realistic with my motivation. And in this case, I am motivated to finish this. I just wasn't going about it in the right way. So instead of trying to do it for 15 minutes every day, I'm setting a goal to accumulate 4 hours. And so you can see this little pie chart. Each of those little slices is 15 minutes. So if I do half an hour, then I get to color in 2 pies. If I do an hour, I get to color in 4. And if I miss a day, it's not a big deal. So I'll check in on how that goes for the month of June. Back down here, I'm excited about this one. Cecily accumulates 3,000 double unders in the month of June 2020. So this again is an accumulation goal. I find that these are very motivating for me because if I miss a day, it's not a big deal and I can front load or I can work really hard at the end to catch up. So 3,000 double unders. If I were to work on it every single day, it would be 100 per day. But if I want to do 200 in one day, then that's fine. And I'm going to cross these off as I go. And I'm going to be awesome at double unders by the end of June. And then back over here, my last but not least, my last month of June goal is to post 5 website examples to my website in June. And I know that kind of sounds like website inception, but all that means is I am posting like a little portfolio and a write-up of websites that I have built, because in this age of COVID where weddings are canceled, events are canceled, and a lot of my corporate clients are on pause with their marketing and photography expenditure, I'm going back to one of my earlier original talents, and that is web design. And so in order to make those services attractive to potential clients, I'm updating my website, showing and reflecting the work that I have done on websites over the last couple of years. So there you have it. That is my goals board check-in for the month of May, looking ahead to the month of June. I look forward to checking in with you and letting you know how it has gone.